Welcome to this video on the causes for the French Revolution. Let's look at these causes by organizing them into types. The first type that we need to look at are political causes, or Louis XVI and his problems. Louis XVI came to power in 1774 at the age of 20. Long years of war had drained the financial resources of France, so the French treasury was empty. Louis XVI helped 13 American colonies to gain independence from their common enemy, Britain. France had taken 3 billion lire of loan from moneylenders who began to charge 10% interest. To meet its regular expenses, such as the cost of maintaining an army, the court, running government offices or universities, the ruler was forced to increase taxes. Second, social causes or division in the French society. French society in the 18th century was divided into 3 estates: clergy, the nobility, and the common people, commonly called the first, second, and third estates. The clergy and the nobility were 10% of the population but possessed 60% of the land. The third estate was 90% of the population but possessed only 40% of the lands. The church collected taxes from the common people, while the clergy and the nobility were exempted from paying tax. Nobles, on the other hand, collected feudal dues from the third estate people. Peasants were obliged to render services to the clergy and nobility whenever called, to work in their houses, their fields, to serve in their armies, or to participate in building roads. Third, economic causes, or the struggle to survive. The population of France rose from 23 million to 28 million in 1789. This led to a rapid increase in the demand for food grains. Production of grains was less because drought or hail reduced the harvest. Most workers were employed as laborers in workshops. Owners of workshops did not increase the wages of laborers either. This led to a subsistence crisis. Basically, there was severe scarcity of food grains, which occurred frequently in France. The fourth cause was the growth of the middle class and the influence from the United States. The 18th century witnessed the emergence of social groups termed the middle class, who earned their wealth through trade and professions. They were strongly influenced by the Declaration of Independence of the United States. They were also influenced by fundamental rights given to the citizens of the USA. All of these people were educated and believed that no group in society should be privileged by birth. They also believed that French society should be based on freedom, equality, and equal opportunities for all. While we are looking at causes, we should definitely also look at the leading thinkers of that time. And that is our fifth cause, the role of philosophers in the French Revolution. A philosopher called John Locke, in his book called The Two Treatises of Government, criticized the doctrine of the divine and the absolute right of the monarch and nobles. This questioned their right to power, privilege, and money just because of the family in which they were born. Another philosopher, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, in his book Social Contract, proposed a form of government based on a social contract between people and their representatives. A philosopher called Montesquieu, in his book The Spirit of the Laws, proposed a division of power within the government between the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary. The ideas of these philosophers were discussed intensively in salons and coffee houses and spread among people through books and newspapers. The news that Louis XVI planned to impose further taxes generated anger and protest against the ruler and against the system. Take all of these realities together, and it is easy to understand why the French Revolution simply had to happen. And the rest, as they say, is history. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.